With respect to the Indian entrepreneurial ecosystem, how mature do you see Indian companies today with respect to their global peers? And do you feel that the opportunity for Indian entrepreneurs to really develop their backbone is today?
So it's been a 10-year journey for Accel. So we started investing about 10 years ago. We've invested in about 130 companies. So if you look at the maturity of the entrepreneurs when we got started about 10 years ago and now, tremendous change. So I think they've learned a lot from each other. They've there's a lot of there's no longer information asymmetry. You can easily learn from other startups, other places in the world. So I think I would say that in a scale of 1 to 10, I mean, we were at maybe 10 years ago 3 to 4 in terms of maturity, and in terms of comparing ourselves to global peers,
Right.
I think we are at 7, 8. So I would say we are at a good place, and really developing fast in terms of just our ability to absorb the best from everywhere and adapt it to India, and really create great startups.
I want to know from you, in your portfolio, which are the best companies that you see a good future for, and in terms of sector, which sector do you think is a sector that can actually build itself globally, keeping in mind the hits and misses that exist in the overseas markets?
See, there are two sectors. One is, you think you've heard of the SaaS space, right? So the enterprise SaaS space, we believe, is really ripe for entrepreneurs to build from India for the rest of the world. They can start out with a few customers in India, but very quickly I think the opportunity is in Southeast Asia and other parts of the world. So Freshworks is a great portfolio company as of ours, and they are in hundreds of countries, not even just 2, 3. There's a company called CleverTap, which is really dominating the marketing, the MarTech space in Southeast Asia. There is a company called Zenoti, which is dominating the spa space. So there are innumerable examples of the SaaS businesses. Some of the consumer businesses are slightly tougher to take global because the dynamics and the realities of consumption and local situations are very different. I see some of these consumer companies probably going to Indonesia and some of the closer geographies, but it's the SaaS businesses and the healthcare businesses. So some of our businesses like Mitra Biotech and some of the other healthcare businesses also have shown India is a better place where you can do a lot of your initial R&D and then take that IP and repurpose that IP in other parts of the world.
How, depending on the feasibility and the resources as well as the adaptability of this country, which sectors do you feel are slated for growth?
So we think B2B businesses in India, like I was mentioning on the panel, I think Indian enterprises have woken up to technology. They still don't want to pay a lot upfront, but they are willing to use platforms, and so BlackBuck, for example, is a good which works with the fleet operators, right, and enterprises that use trucking fleets across the country. So BlackBuck is a good example. Moglix, which uses the whole procurement business, right, as a platform. So there are multitude of these which are emerging. The agro space is very exciting. You know, we have AgroStar and Samunati and Ninja Cart and the whole farm to Kirana, and so the agro spaces are very interesting. And SaaS, I think, is still early. I think the entire enterprise space globally constantly goes through shifts, and with cloud and AI and some of these technologies. So I think there are opportunities even there for Indian entrepreneurs. So multiple space.
what do you look at? I've seen a couple of investments happen in the last 6 months. Tell me, what is that you look at with respect to investment in companies when you're looking at Series A, Series B, Series C? Is there a particular return in mind that you have, or do you see where the company can grow? What is the rationale behind really selecting a company for investment?
Yeah, we are largely early stage and Series A. We do a few Bs and Cs, but so in the early stages, three things matter to us. Uh, uh, the market opportunity that is latent and the market opportunity that can develop. We need to be aware of both. We need to be aware of the quality of the entrepreneurial team. Is it well sorted? Is it well balanced?
Right.
Will this entrepreneur be able to assemble the best team moving forward? And third, are there enough early signs of execution? Because we are early, there's not a lot of data. There are only few signals that we try to pick up and see, is this team showing good signs?